Hey guys, this is Law. So I'm re-uploading this because there's a sound problem, so I have to re-record every single sound from before. And welcome to a video where I'll be doing something different. I'm going to be talking about George Lucas not liking the sequel trilogy. So in this new book that Bob Iger released, he talks about some of the drama between George Lucas and Disney. And honestly, I'm on the side of George Lucas based on what I've heard. So to sum it all up, Bob Iger said that he bought an outline that George Lucas made for the sequel trilogy, but then decided not to use it, and then gave us what we have for episodes 7 and 8, and probably what we have for 9. And then George Lucas got furious because of it, even though Bob Iger didn't have to legally say anything or legally do what he said. But they bought the outline and didn't use it. Just to sum it all up, so imagine you were chosen to with some other people at a birthday party to organize, and then you all agree on making it based on Marvel, but then instead you make it based on Cars without your decision. You're gonna be pretty angry about that. And that's kind of like what George Lucas is right now. And honestly, I really am upset with Disney about this. So, it's George Lucas' story, and then Disney decides, maybe George Lucas shouldn't be part of this trilogy. And then decide to do it themselves. You should either let George Lucas finish his story, or make a completely new story, instead of extending off of the story without George Lucas. Also, Bob Iger brags about having the look and feel of Star Wars. But it's not actually Star Wars. It's just the look and feel of Star Wars. Because it's just the exact same, because The Force Awakens is the exact same as A New Hope. Or almost the exact same. The main protagonist is on a desert planet and lives there. And they even have like Discount Cantina, which is Maz's castle. They have the Discount Darth Vader, which is Kylo Ren. The Discount Palpatine, which is Snoke. The Discount, there's a lot of Discount characters in this movie. The Discount Ben Kenobi, which is Han. The Discount Chewbacca, which is Chewbacca. I'm not really... I wouldn't say that. That's a discount. But there's a lot... Oh yeah. And then the Discount Empire is the First Order. The Discount Rebellion is the Resistance. And there's a lot of Discount everything in here. But my point is that the Force Awakens is just a rehash of A New Hope, and the Last Jedi is almost completely a rehash of Empire Strikes Back, except the Hoth battle is at the end, but in its own crate, and instead of the apprentice getting punished or for what they did, it's the master who's doing something wrong. And that's basically everything that's different from The Last Jedi. And they still have the main protagonist getting chased constantly by the First Order, and then they get caught because someone gets paid for information, to get information on them. So basically, DJ is almost like a discount Boba Fett. So even The Last Jedi which is supposed to be like a discount Empire Strikes Back, can still be bad and be a discount of Empire Strikes Back. In ways you might not notice. But honestly, I'm still really upset with what Bob Iger has done, along with Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams. Sure, I understand not having Lucas direct episode 7, 8, and 9, but at least use his outline, like his story, because the prequels weren't actually as bad as people think, but the execution was the problem. And I feel like that's what made the original trilogy had a great execution, though. I still don't get what all the fuss is over the prequels. Like, people don't get over the prequels, and that was 14 years ago since Revenge of the Sith. And look at the people who hate The Last Jedi. They've at least calmed down after what happened with The Last Jedi. It's not like people complain about The Last Jedi as much as people complain about the prequels. And that movie came out almost 2 years ago. The people who still complain about the prequels to this day, grow up. I mean, seriously. The prequels were 14 years ago. They happened. Stop complaining. You guys, seriously. The prequels aren't as bad as you think. Especially when we have The Last Jedi. Speaking of The Last Jedi, there's only 2 types of fans, or I guess one isn't really counting as a fan. Maybe actually 2. There's 3 types of people who like The Last Jedi. The SJWs, the prequel haters, and then just the casual fans who don't really know what's going on. And my friend, which I'm still trying to convince not to like The Last Jedi. But the point is, I feel like if Bob Iger did use George Lucas's outline, fans would be accepting of the sequel trilogy more. And if they weren't accepting, then they can go and move on to something else afterwards. But don't continue someone's story when someone wants to continue it themselves. Because it's kind of like you're telling a story and someone else tells it and someone else finishes it for you. It's like, wait, this isn't the ending I wanted. This is completely different from what I wanted. That's exactly what I'm thinking with the sequel trilogy. It's not the ending that George Lucas wanted, and he's the one who created Star Wars, the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. These are some of my opinions on the original trilogy and prequel trilogy. And yeah, so it seems like they're pulling like Ghostbusters here. They're basically just making money off of the name Star Wars, like they did with the 2016 Ghostbusters. And I don't like it. I'm sure nobody else likes it either. Except for the SJWs, like, ooh, we have. I'm glad there's diversity in the movie, and I'm glad there's diversity in the movie. Well, these are my thoughts on the Bob Iger and George Lucas Disney drama. One more thing. I know that Bob Iger legally didn't have to do it, but why would he buy the plans if he doesn't want to use them? He could have at least said no, and then he could have at least told George Lucas, so they'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, sure, he'd be upset, but I mean, it's better to tell the truth than to lie about it and have someone else, and have him find out and then get even more angry. Well, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.